It's not about tonight. It's not about Jurgen Klinsmann. It's not just about Bruce Arena. As a whole, U.S. soccer is not prepared. The gloves should have been off years ago.
I mean, it's shocking.
This is the worst U.S. national team I've seen for 20 years.
They've shown they have no strength of character.
That's a different
when
story.
things are going well,
don't tell me
are you
Michael
going to let me talk or what?
No, you're not letting me talk, Steve. You don't
In
tell me Michael
Panama
Bradley
and
isn't a good
Honduras,
leader.
they
He doesn't care what
annihilated
happens to them.
They annihilated them.
This is an utter embarrassment.
Nobody showed any sort of real strength of character.
You can't get a draw, a tie against Trinidad? Come on.
This goes much further than just one game.
You can talk all you want, you can speak all you want, you can complain about the conditions in Trinidad and Tobago all you want, but you got to perform on the day.
You heard Alexi Lawless's rant last week about overpaid, spoiled.
There's an arrogance in our sport. How do we have an arrogance?
They've all got ahead of themselves.
The fact is, we're not German.
Whenever they get punched in the mouth, they're not able to respond.
The United States has more resources than any team in this region.
I don't care about MLS. I care about the U.S. men's national team.
Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, knowing the result. You can't tell me there's no changes coming.
This is the most arrogant U.S. national team I've seen for the last 20 years.
At the end of the day, players have to take responsibility. Listen, a large part of the game is between your ears. It's a mental toughness.
There has been this sort of idea that it's all fixed. Everybody back up from the panic button. We're all good.
We all might as well go play in oncoming traffic.
You lost at home to Costa Rica. You barely drew away to Honduras on a late goal, because if you don't beat Trinidad and Tobago when you need to do so, you don't deserve to be in.
If you don't change after this, then what's the point? What are we doing? What are we doing?
There's no better player in the game of basketball than LeBron James.
4 MVPs in 5 years.
He is the runaway MVP every year he's in this league.
I don't think there can be a discussion of the MVP if LeBron James isn't involved.
It's been 4 years since LeBron James won his last MVP award. He's owned the postseason in that time. He averaged a triple-double in the finals. But last season, he finished just 4th in the MVP voting, his lowest since 2008. But that could change this season. With last year's winner Russell Westbrook picking up some new star teammates in Paul George and Carmelo Anthony, and runner-up James Harden adding Chris Paul, their numbers could dip a little. It's hard for a superstar to win the MVP when he has to share the spotlight. It affected Steph Curry and Kevin Durant's case last season, and that's just the most recent example.
James drives, pass to himself, and he throws it down.
That's where James comes in. With Kyrie Irving moving to Boston, the door may be opening for James to frame the MVP race early in the season, and he seems motivated to do so. There's been no missing James's renewed intensity during the preseason, something that has even surprised his teammates.
I can see the difference. He's just driven because at the end of the day, for whatever reason, he's not in those conversations of whether it's MVP or being, he might not be the best player in the world.
I call him Benjamin Button, but but he seems younger. Just seems happier with the game right now.
I'm ready to go. It's one of the best off seasons I've had in my career. I'm extremely excited.
James says going to his son's AAU games over the summer got his competitive juices flowing. He was all over social media, challenging referees, acting as an assistant coach, and even yelling at the scorekeeper while cheering on LeBron Jr.
You've probably seen a couple videos when I was not a nice dad throughout the course of some of those games. But that just, the basketball Jones and the basketball fever was put back in me early in July.
Early July was also when Irving issued his trade demand to the Cavs, telling team officials he was ready to move on from playing with James. Whatever his reason, James seems to have a renewed motivation going into his 15th season, and that could lead him to chasing his 5th MVP award, which would tie him with Michael Jordan for the second most all time.
I'm not here to talk about it because that's not what I do. I put on the floor.
To the training staff, see what they have to say, but today was definitely a positive step forward.
What was the hardest part of today for you?
Just pushing off, but I mean, other than that, it's not much pain, but we'll see what happens tomorrow.
You worked with Miles on the court before Tuesday night's game. Did you have any, were you completely fine, or did it not get worse
Well, Miles, that was the first time I got on the court, you know, because I got hurt. So we really didn't take it, you know, hard at all. It was pretty light. Just a little movements here and there, so it really didn't affect me, you know, the next day. And came back, got my treatment, and everything was cool.
And then they had you do the same stuff yesterday before practice. And the plan was just to make sure that none of that affected you.
Just making sure, you know, the day after, nothing was wrong with it, and nothing's been wrong with it. So today I got to, you know, take that step forward finally and let me out here.
Did it feel good? I mean, just to be out here?
Oh, for sure. You know, I've been saying that. It's only been a week, but I mean, it feels a lot longer than that. And I'm just excited to get back on the court.
Does it feel like a setback for you just because you came in and then you had to take some time off so quickly?
I mean, I wouldn't call it a setback. You know, obviously I like to get out there and play, but I focus on positive, and I'm about to be back soon, so it's a good thing.
What do you think of what you saw from Tyler in the fall running with more?
I thought he did a good job. You know, tried to win the team the best way he could. Didn't make many mistakes. You know, I was proud of him.
What about Caruso?
The man's, you know, he's gonna come in here and give you what he got every game. Just a walking bucket.
What do you notice?
Lonzo, are you surprised it took this long? When the injury initially happened, it was considered a mild ankle sprain. Even you thought, like, you tried playing that second half and thought it wouldn't be that big a deal. What happened in the next few days or the last few?
I mean, it swelled up. So I mean, you know, when it first hurts, when we first heard it, you know, it doesn't swell up right there. So I was pretty fine when I got to go play back out there. But you know, that night when I woke up, it got fat, and then you know, that's what set me back a little bit.
And the biggest issue was moving side to side.
Definitely.
The last few days.